Judaism, monotheistic religion developed among the ancient Hebrews. It is characterized by a belief in one transcendent God who revealed himself to Abraham, Moses, and the Hebrew prophets, and by a religious life in accordance with scriptures and rabbinic traditions. Judaism is the complex phenomenon of a total way of life for the Jewish people, comprising theology, law, and innumerable cultural traditions. During and after the Holocaust, many Jews returned to their homeland, in the Middle East region known as Palestine, and embraced Zionism, a movement for the creation of a Jewish state that emerged in 19th-century Europe. In 1948, Israel officially became an independent nation. David Ben-Gurion, one of the leading promoters of a Jewish nation-state, was given the title of Prime Minister. This event was considered a success for the Jewish people who had tirelessly petitioned for an independent state in their homeland. However, tensions between Jews and Arabs living in Palestine escalated in the years since Israel became a state and are still ongoing today. Orthodox Judaism is a very radical branch of Judaism. Its adherents are known to be very rigid in obeying the entire Torah, which amounts to 613 mitzvah or regulations. For example, they chose to walk to the synagogue, because no money transactions were allowed on the Sabbath. Likewise, no woman can be a rabbi, only a man can be called a rabbi. They can be said to be far from worldly life. Their religious approach Judaism adheres to the interpretation and application of the law and ethics of the Torah as endorsed in the text of the Talmud. Hasidic Jews is a subgroup of Haredi Jews that arose as a spiritual revival movement in the territory of contemporary Western Ukraine during the 18th century, and spread rapidly throughout Eastern Europe. Today, most affiliates reside in Israel and the United States. The fundamental principle of Hasidic Jewish beliefs and practices is change nothing. The way that they conducted their lives back in Eastern Europe is how it should continue perpetually. This applies to language, clothing, food, and every other aspect of their lifestyle. Yiddish is the default language. Yiddish is a unique language whose basis is German mixed with Polish, Russian, Hebrew, and English. Gender roles are traditional, and genders are kept separated almost all of the time in synagogue or school. Marriages are arranged, usually at age 17, 18 or 19. The Hasidic community is very fraternal. Men and boys spend a significant amount of time in the synagogue together. Often they will also participate in feast gatherings with the Rebbe, which entail joyous singing and dancing. The Rabbi is the absolute leader of the sect, and he will rule on all religious beliefs and practices. Physical modesty is paramount. Bodies must be covered fully and all clothing is formal. Orthodox Jews are known for the unusual ways that they wear their hair. The primary characteristic that often attracts curiosity is the side curls which men have on the sides of their heads. Peyot is the Hebrew term for side locks or sideburns. Peyot are worn by some men and boys in the Orthodox Jewish community based on an interpretation of the Tanakh injunction against shaving the sides of one's head. It literally means corner. There are different styles of peyot among Haredi or Hasidic, Yemenite, and Shardal Jews. Yemenite Jews call their sidelocks samanim, literally, signs, because their long curled sidelocks served as a distinguishing feature in the Yemenite society. Orthodox Jews are iconic in black. The reason originally came from a long history. It is a symbol of mourning over the destruction of the Second Temple over 1,900 years ago. However, that doesn't explain what they are wearing. Although some black hat Orthodox communities wear somewhat modern black suits, others consciously try to resist modern influences. Their long black coats, black hats, white stockings, and old-style shoes are a way to hold on to the old Eastern European culture of the 18th century. Traditional women don't have the same dress codes, but they do tend to dress more modestly. Orthodox Jews set themselves apart in other ways too. Many Orthodox Jews minimize their contact with the outside world, so they usually don't have televisions in their homes. They tune their radios to religious programming. They don't go to movies, and at least one group has ruled that its members shouldn't use the internet. The Day of Atonement marks the end of the Jewish High Holy Days and offers a chance for people to change their fate through prayer, repentance and charity. Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the Jewish year and marks a time for atonement through fasting and prayer. On this day, Orthodox Jewish men gather and pray at the Western Wall in the Old City of Jerusalem. Yom Kippur is considered the most important holiday in the Jewish faith. Falling in the month of Tishrei, September or October in the Gregorian calendar, it marks the culmination of the 10 days of Awe, a period of introspection and repentance that follows Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. According to tradition, it is on Yom Kippur that God decides each person's fate, so Jews are encouraged to make amends and ask forgiveness for sins committed during the past year. The holiday is observed with a 25-hour fast and a special religious service. On the day of Lag BaOmer, the Jews hold a Hilula or ceremony, a death memorial of Rabbi Shimon, a sage Mishnah and disciple of Rabbi Akiba who lived in the 2nd century. On this same date, the Rabbi discovered the mystical secret of the Torah known as the Kabbalah. During the Lag BaOmer celebration, Jews light bonfires, make pilgrimages to Rabbi Shimon's tomb in the city of Meron, and perform various rituals at the tomb. For good and for bad, Jews tend to be thought of as a single homogeneous group. But the Jewish people have always had internal distinctions, and over the years have developed diverse ethnic and religious identities.